This video is brought to you by CuriosityStream. So, when I did this year's worst list, I said 2021 was not a good year, by the standard that I was more interested in writing the worst list than the best list. And that was true, as you can tell by how fucking long it took me to make this video. But as I was putting together this list, I was looking at it and, actually, these are pretty good songs. So why did 2021 strike me as so disappointing? I don't know. I just feel a little disconnected from the big blockbuster hitmakers this year. I like Olivia, but I'm not over the moon for her. Doja Cat just kind of left me cold. Silk Sonic was fine. Lil Nas X's album was really good, but I liked it more on the whole than I liked any individual song from it. Stay, Levitating, Butter, these are all good songs that I enjoyed, but I never once considered them candidates for the best list. I only write about big hits because that's way easier, but even within that narrow field, this list feels a little off the beaten path for me. I don't think it's going to be controversial. I didn't put Florida Georgia Line on here or anything. It just feels weird for something I made. Most of the songs on here were from artists I wasn't really familiar with before, haven't really covered or put on any lists, some I hadn't ever even listened to at all. I wish I picked artists I knew a little better, honestly. Would have made writing this list a lot easier. But it is what it is. These were the songs I loved in a year that I didn't. So, we're counting down the top 10 best hit songs of 2021. Number 10. I like Olivia. I think she's very talented, and I'm looking forward to hearing more from her. But I am especially eager to hear what she makes when she's moved on from this silly teenage breakup, which dominates her debut album. I mean, it's fine, it's good. There were some clumsy parts in there.
Maybe I'm too emotional, but apathy's like a wound in salt.
It's salt in the wound, not wound. Yes, Olivia, your ex-boyfriend is now dating a different actress. He's an actor, Olivia. His dating pool is probably going to be other actresses. It's not like you're going to be dating a plumber next.
I'm so insecure, I think that I'll die before I drink.
There are a couple songs on there that aren't about what's-his-face, and by far my favorite song of hers was the album opener, which kicks open the Olivia Rodrigo era in a giant teenage explosion of stress and angst. It was a little odd to watch a whole bunch of 30-somethings and Gen Xers erupt for this teen pop album, but oh man, I got it. I've been dying for a 90s revival since forever. Her other rock song, Good For You, was the 2000s, but this is 90s to the core.
It's brutal out here.
Now, the snob part of me says a Disney girl doesn't remotely have the right to be playing Riot Girl dress-up, but then I remembered that child stars probably have it worse than anybody.
And they'd all be so disappointed, cause who am I if not exploited?
Yes, part of me wants to sniff at her silly teenage problems.
I only have 2 real friends, and lately
Oh, look at little Miss Two Friends over here. I'd have killed for a fake friend at your age, you little brat. But for once, she's not asking you to take it seriously.
And I'm not cool, and I'm not smart, and I can't even parallel park.
Olivia said that acting is different from songwriting because acting is lying, but in songwriting you have to tell the truth. But one of her best qualities is that she's a really good actress. More than anyone, you can tell she treats her songs like dramatic monologues. But as an actress, she started in sitcoms, and of all her songs, this is the only one that has any sense of humor. Like, if she wants to capture the truth, then this is the most truthful song she's written so far. I mean, what's truer than a teenager who's stressed out because she can't drive? That shit is brutal.
Cut out a piece So happy and healthy.
Number 9. So I was talking earlier about how all the big blockbuster songs this year that everyone loved, I didn't really feel. Adele was going to be one of them. Adele began this album cycle the same way she began the last one.
Hello.
With a heartbreaking, sentimental piano ballad about regretting the past, and even a whole video reference to that song's video.
Here we go again.
Indeed.
Go easy on me, baby.
Now, I wasn't that impressed on first listen. I mean, being perfectly frank, I'd much rather have another Rolling in the Deep than another Hello. Also, I wasn't really impressed with the opening lyrics.
There ain't no gold in this river that I've been washing my hands in forever.
Okay, are you panning for gold in the river or are you washing your hands? What is this metaphor? But boy, did my mind change on that one. And I can tell you what did it too. Like, I didn't do this intentionally, but I accidentally wound up listening to the new album while doing the loneliest, saddest thing I can think of, Christmas shopping. A more soul-destroying experience I don't know. And listening to her apologize to her 9-year-old son for all her mistakes, while I was also trying and failing to find undisappointing gifts for my family, at the end of it, I was just ruined.
I had no time to choose what I chose to do.
Like, hook it right into my veins. I will take yet another plea for forgiveness from Adele. I'm in the tank for Adele. She can do no wrong. Even when she does do wrong, it turns right when she sings it.
Now I give up. Don't
For what it's worth, I do think this is a much better song than Hello. For one, that piano riff is just amazing. For all that Adele's image is tasteful with the spare piano and the gowns and pearls, Adele's actual music is about being very, very messy. If her albums are supposed to be a tour through different phases of her life, Easy on Me marks the point where she is mature enough to not undercut her apologies by being defensive or aggressive, and she just lets things be very sad. And Adele is still the best singer alive. No one has better emotional control. No one can turn it off and turn it on and turn it even more on like she does. There's a reason why she can take 6 years to make an album, and it sounds absolutely nothing like anything else on the charts, and she can still be the biggest star in the universe. I know this is to her son, but it felt like she was singing to me personally. I do forgive you, Adele, and I'm so sorry for everything I did to you. Let's both drink wine.
So happy and healthy.
Number 8.
How many people in here have an ex?
It is now time that we celebrate the great breakthrough of 2021. The long overdue ascension of a struggling artist we all wrongly assume had squandered every last chance, who was doomed to obscurity, but finally, at last, blew up big in 2021. The guitar. What a wonderful comeback year it's been for the guitar.
I swear to God, I never fall in love. Then you showed up and I can't get enough.
It's also a good year for Machine Gun Kelly, who had spent the last 7 or 8 years trying to make himself a credible rapper and failing. But in 2019, he made a song with Youngblood and Travis Barker, where he basically played the Mike Shinoda to Youngblood's Chester Bennington.
I hurt myself sometimes. Is that too scary for you? Watch me.
And I fucking loved it. I gave it an honorable mention that year, and I thought, man, there goes whatever credibility I had left. Like, who the fuck listens to MGK?
Now we're in the backseat of the black car.
Well, look how much changes in 2 years. Machine Gun Kelly is no longer well, actually, he might still be a joke, I don't know. But he's a joke with some really good singles under his belt.
You walked in my life at 2 a.m.
Part of it is that all his rock songs have been produced by Travis Barker, who is basically a cheat code, and as it turns out, has secretly been a musical genius this entire time. Like, people always said he was a great drummer, but even from the beginning, he was doing a lot more for Blink-182 than we realized. Like, people who knew them said, yeah, the other two guys wrote the songs, but Travis made all the decisions. He just instinctively knows how songs are supposed to sound. which makes sense considering his turn as the hottest producer of 2021. But I don't want to withhold credit from MGK either. Turns out he's really good at this.
I swear to God, I never fall in love.
It's like if Michael Jordan had started out as a shitty baseball player for a decade and then suddenly realized that he could dunk. Not that MGK is Michael Jordan, but you get what I mean. And he must have had astonishing foresight that this is what people wanted. It seemed like after the 2000s where guitars just fucking sucked, no one would ever try to rock again. But after a 2010s full of Spotify core car commercial crap, maybe it's time to headbang again. And I don't know if anyone thinks of this song this way, but it's also very romantic.
You know my ex, so that makes it all feel complicated, yeah.
I admit I'm not clear what's going on with this love triangle, rectangle, pentangle, I don't know.
Cause my boy's new girl is your best friend.
Is the ex's best friend also his best friend's ex? Is Black Bear the best friend?
You play like I'm invisible, girl, don't act like you ain't saw me.
Or is he just some random guy? I don't know. And somehow, despite this mess of drama, it's really exciting.
I swear to God, I never fall in love.
And of course, the most romantic thing about it, it helped rekindle America's love affair with the guitar. Is it back for good? Is it just gonna be a one-year thing like the saxophone in 2011? We shall see. In the meantime, I look forward to more shit from MGK. Maybe it'll inspire other bad rappers to find their true calling. Hey Nav, or G-Eazy, strap on a guitar and see what happens. You never know! Number 7.
Next category we have Album of the Year.
The 2021 Grammys were plagued with controversy. Most famously, The Weeknd did not get nominated, but did you see what did? For Album of the Year, probably the most prestigious award they have, the Grammys nominated Jacob Collier, fairly obscure R&B, funk, art, jazz producer, I don't know.
It's a beautiful Sunday morning.
I tried to listen and I found it very difficult. It was real hard to see why they nominated this album, which was not commercially successful or critically acclaimed or even critically acknowledged and also kind of sucked. It all stank of someone having friends in high places. So I was pretty determined to despise everything this man touched forever. Well, so much for that.
Good day in my mind, safe to take a step out.
Jacob Collier co-wrote and sang backup on SZA's Good Days, one of the best songs of the year. At least that's what I'm saying now. I'm not sure I got it at first. I mean, which happens. There's a lot of great songs that it takes me a while to really understand. I didn't realize how much I liked Essence by WizKid until I played it in the intro a minute ago. Not too late now. So for the sake of this list, I'm very lucky that Good Days dropped right at the beginning of the year because it took me the full year. Again, I think the holidays did it. Those always stress me out. And when I needed to de-stress, this was the song I found myself putting on. Which is funny because this kind of dreamy, languid R&B is not really my thing. I think I said in the last video that I don't really like vibes as even a concept. I prefer bops to vibes, which are the only two kinds of songs that exist anymore. But actually, this list is pretty vibe heavy. This one especially really gets to me. Funny thing, I thought SZA was a lot younger. I had no idea she was in her 30s. As am I. And I totally get the feeling that maybe you've wasted your entire life on an unworthy person or perhaps an unhealthy obsession with pop culture or too much time sitting around staring at a computer screen. Like maybe I needed this entire disappointment of a year to really grasp this song about optimism in the face of crushing disappointment.
Still wanna try, still believe in good days.
Sometimes you feel like you've run out of good days. I mean, I hit that point in like 2017, so someone saying that they still believe in good days, that does mean a lot to me. Thank you, SZA, for writing this. And Collier, you're off the shit list. Or at least until Quincy Jones hands you a whole other batch of Grammys. Number 6. The year is 2020. The country erupts in protest. And the world asks, where are you, Kendrick Lamar? Where is the greatest rapper and activist of our day? Where is hip-hop's prophet? It's Messiah even, in our time of need. His absence seemed like it stretched for ages, but at long last, in 2021, Kendrick returned in earnest. And what he returned with sounded absolutely bug shit. Before we get to Kendrick, I feel like I should say that Baby Keem has really grown on me.
Chopper doing circles, it's a bird.
First time I heard this song, I was like, get to the Kendrick factory already. But, you know, this is a really good verse.
In the process, nigga trying to tippy-toe through the progress.
And I know a lot of you are like, Baby who? I don't really know that much about him either. I know he's been bubbling under for a couple years, and I do know there have been rumors of nepotism. Like, hey, aren't you Kendrick Lamar's cousin? And so finally he's like, you know what? Sure I am. So what?
Headshot, they can't woo them guys.
Also, I love this video, by the way.
Hey! My Uncle G told me that I had a chance.
Like, he could have been absolutely blown off the stage by his extremely famous and beloved relative, and he held his own, so you know what, let's give it up. But Kendrick is definitely the star of the show. And when he shows up, the song kicks into a new gear.
I am the Omega. Don't you address me unless it with 4 letters.
Now, my favorite part is the part where he addresses where he's been.
I've been ducking the pandemic. I've been social gimmicks. I've been ducking the overnight activist. Yeah, I'm not
amazing.
Overnight activist. Yeah.
2 words to remind you that he's been doing this a lot earlier than 2020, and he'll be doing it long after half those people are like, yay, we did it. Good job, everybody. But mostly I just like that he seems to be having fun. That's the thing about Kendrick. People forget that he can just be extremely funny and fun.
I'm tripping, I'm jigging, my mental is
amazing, brother. Pop off only on occasions, brother.
Rich nigga, mama, know I made it, brother.
The week after this came out, I was saying amazing, brother, over and over again to myself. So, I mean, it's probably a good thing I don't see anybody ever. Thanks, pandemic.
I'm in this bitch. 2 phones, but I only bring 1 in this bitch.
1 daughter, but they all my sons in this bitch. No.
Anyway, then they go back to back, and it fucking rocks. I fucking love this song, brother. Kendrick had a lot to live up to after so long out, and it sounded like he used his entire hiatus writing for this one song. He switches styles like 4 times.
Flows come and be patient, brother. Show my ass in, take you out of class like a multitask like Megan, brother.
Jesus Christ, if this is the verse he writes for his cousin, imagine what he's gonna put out on his own album. No pressure, Kendrick.
2 DM in my bitch. That's cool, that's why.
And hey, brother, we have to do the ad now. So, now, if you watch any of my videos, you probably like stories about one-hit wonders from the 90s. Now, if you want one that actually goes in depth, you should check out All I Can Say, the tragic life story of Shannon Hoon, lead singer of Blind Melon. It's a wonderfully done documentary, and you can catch it all on CuriosityStream. Go to curiositystream.com/ToddInTheShadows, and you will get an entire year for just $14.79. That's nothing. Not only is that a 26% discount on the regular price, you will also get free access to Nebula, a streaming video platform built for and by independent creators like H-Bomber Guy, Adam Neely, and myself. So you will get all the high-budget premium content you get on CuriosityStream, plus all the independent video creators on Nebula. Once you use the code and get CuriosityStream, you get a welcome email from Nebula giving you access, and you'll have access to both services. So sign up now, click the link in the description, and enjoy. All right. And on with the show. Number 5.
Stupid, regressive whores. Good job, Senator.
I wonder what this could be a reference to.
Stripper behavior. I mean, this is stripper behavior on stage with music. I mean, that's what it is.
Pancake that motherfucker.
On my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shit. Post me a pic, finna make me a profit.
Remember WAP? Good times. Everyone was so angry. WAP is probably the biggest event song of this decade so far, but if I have one criticism for it, it was billed as a duet, but to me that's a Cardi song.
Park that Big Mac truck right in this little garage. Make me dream.
Cardi had, the train noise, and the line about the dangly thing in the back of her throat. Megan did very well, but I think the judges would have to give that one to Cardi on points. 2021, meanwhile, belonged to Megan. Like, I Liked Up, it was a good song from Cardi, it didn't come close to Thought Shit.
Trying to call me a snake shit, I guess I can relate, cause a bitch spit a whole lot of dinner. Since these hoes all rats, when they come around me, all I see is a whole lot of dinner.
It's funny because I was already thinking of this as WAP Part 2, But after many listens, I realized that it isn't that at all. Like, the song is supposed to be about being hot. You know, she's on her hot girl shit.
Looking in the mirror like, damn, I'm bragging up.
But I think Megan is just generally too pissed with too many things right now because she spends like 20% of it being hot and the rest of it is just totally destroying every jealous bitch and fake friend she ever had.
I don't give a fuck who talk behind my back, 'cause the bitch knew better than to let me hear.
Park that Big Mac truck right over your fucking face.
Acting like you winning if you think about it actually. Are they supporting you or really just attacking me? I don't give a fuck.
Like, I don't know if Megan has a single score to settle after this. She has settled all of that shit. Like, the song is weirdly not raunchy at all. You know, for a song called Thought Shit, even her sexiness, she's using it to hurt you. And not for nothing, it has some of the funniest lines I've ever heard.
Hot girl, but I'm still the coldest. Hey, I'm the big homie, but I ain't the oldest. Bitch dry hating, trying to get noticed. Man, ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. Look.
Ha! I talk about the best 2 seconds of the year. That's my pick. Otis.
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
No video has ever captured its song like this one does. This is a song where Megan Thee Stallion beats the shit out of you and then twerks on you. Well, anyway, don't fuck with Megan Thee Stallion.
Hands on my knees, hands on my knees.
Number 4. Despite a pretty thorough mainstreaming since Despacito, I remain a bit of a reggaeton moron. As you can tell by the way I just pronounced that. Hold on, let me try again. I'm a bit of a reggaeton moron. I'm surprised I haven't been called out for it like I have been for the billion other ways my taste is extremely narrow. So I may as well just head that off now. It is time. It is time for a reggaeton artist to be on one of my top 10 lists. The song itself is not remotely reggaeton, but, you know, pretend like it is.
1, 2, 3,
Raul Alejandro apparently shocked the reggaeton world by releasing a song where the beat goes donch, 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 instead of don, 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 don. I mean, I was shocked to hear it too, honestly. Most of the Spanish language stuff that gets popular is not this catchy neo-disco. I expected to hear Dua Lipa over this, not something in Spanish. Is this the first foreign language song I've ever put on a best list? All the other ones I think have had at least a little English in it. I mean, I'm kind of impressed that this didn't wind up with a Justin Bieber verse, because this could have been a huge crossover hit. For some reason, he did not add a verse from Katy Perry or whoever, but it was a big enough streaming hit that even with minimal crossover, it made the year-end Hot 100. It's just such a good fucking song. Like, this is the kind of classic dance pop that Bruno Mars would be making if he hadn't moved on to a different decade. I do have a high school level command of Spanish, so I can tell you that todo de ti means all the tea. Yeah, a lot of hot and gossip in this. No, it means all of you. You know, all of me loves all of you. It's the John Legend song, basically, if it didn't completely suck. It's entirely possible that through the language barrier, I'm missing all sorts of important subtext, but I've seen the lyrics translated, and as far as I can tell, this is just a simple, happy crush song that really does not need you to think very hard about it. There's no indication that there's anything groundbreaking or amazing here. It's just meant to be catchy and disposable, and somehow it's one of the best songs I've ever heard. This song could be remembered for decades, or it could be forgotten tomorrow. I have no idea. I'm just happy to exist at a time when it's popular. So there you go. Maybe next year I'll be open-minded enough to listen to an actual reggaeton song, but this'll do me for now. Number 3. As a pop critic in the early 2020s, my life has been completely ruined by TikTok. TikTok is an insane, random world where songs catch on with no rhyme or reason whatsoever. For example, one of the things that went viral this year was a rap beat, no rapping on it, just the beat, from the early 2000s back when chipmunked up samples were the thing. And now everyone thinks they hate one of the best songs of the 60s because this random scrap of it got hammered into the ground decades later on a stupid app. I don't get it. I've tried, I don't think I ever will, but I do have to acknowledge that it can also be a force for good. Every once in a while, TikTok gets it really, really right.
se podía hacer el amor por telepatía.
This is yet another vibe song, and boy, what a vibe it is. It's also the second Spanish language song on here, although this one is about half in English, which means I actually did hear it on the radio a couple times.
You know I'm just a flight away if you...
I don't think that's like cynical pandering for crossover or anything. Kali Uchis had a childhood split between America and Colombia. And more importantly, I just really can't imagine a version of this song that is entirely Spanish or entirely English.
All these voices in the background of my brain, y me dicen todo lo que estás
One of the best things about this song is its smooth bilingualism. You cut out either part, you'd have lost something pretty huge. The way Kali Uchis tells it, singing in both languages met a lot of resistance from her higher-ups who, told her to pick a lane. She did it anyway, and at another time, perhaps this would have also fallen through the cracks. So we really do have to thank TikTok, where songs don't have to be marketable to go viral. But I like to believe this song didn't need TikTok anyway. You don't really need to speak the same language as this song for it to speak to you. After all, she can read your mind. Number 2.
So everybody else. I hate this.
Billie, I don't want you to blow.
Why do people belt?
Billie Eilish does not like to sing loud.
When I'm away.
Like, that's what she's most famous for, right? She sings quietly. It forces you to pay attention, and it makes it more powerful when she does let loose. And this year, that's what she finally did.
Just fucking leave me alone.
And all her fans erupted because the moment was so powerful. I'll admit, just the shock of it was pretty amazing. But for me, Billie retains her most power when she just lets things sit in devastating silence.
Try not to abuse your power.
One thing that Billie's imitators haven't quite gotten is that Billie doesn't just sing softly, it's also in how she pronounces the lyrics, like she's choking on her own words.
Wonder why you didn't ask.
Like she swallows the lyrics, she cuts them off, like speaking any louder or longer would physically hurt. I'm not sure that hit as hard on the first album where Billie Eilish seemed more like a character, but on her follow-up, it's impossible to not think about Billie as a real person. Watching her Apple Plus documentary will give you a lot of context, but even before that, I was just struck with how much she's not prepared for any of this.
You made me feel like it was my fault.
On one level, Your Power is just a breakup song. On another, it's a protest song about any girl who's been in that situation. She was a teenager dating a sketchy older guy.
You ruined her in a year, don't act like it was hard.
I'm not gonna say what power he did or didn't abuse because I don't know. I do know that Billie feels taken advantage of in hindsight. Now, if this were a Taylor Swift song, we'd know all the specifics. But Billie decides to make this universal.
But now she's got to get to class, how dare you?
It's about every guy who's done something creepy like this. But it is also about this one guy, through one devastating detail.
Really only feel bad if it turns out that they kill your contract.
We don't need to know what that's a reference to. I'm sure that guy knows what it's a reference to, and I'm sure it fucked him up. You can have your Good For You, your All Too Well. For me, there wasn't a breakup song that more annihilated its target than this one.
But power isn't paid.
You wouldn't think of this as an angry song exactly, but you can cut someone with heartbreak just as much as you can with anger. It's very rare you hear a song this full of outrage, despite not having any rage in it. But once again, Billie Eilish kills in silence. All right. And now, before our number one, some honorable mentions. Believe it or not, this was the last cut I made from the list. I couldn't really justify putting this on here as, I don't really think I'm going to think about it much after this year. Couldn't really justify saying there was something transcendent. You know, maybe it sounded a little too much like Last Christmas. But, you know, I don't know. I like this song more than I like most songs this year. Sometimes songs don't have to be special to just be really, really good. Silk Sonic is an amazing business arrangement, first and foremost, allowing Bruno to share his success in exchange for Anderson .Paak's cred. But yeah, the music was, you know, pretty good too, especially this one. The handoff between the two on the pre-chorus. One of the best moments of the year. I don't know why, but one of my favorite moments this year was Lil Baby just bluntly saying, "Miss me with that shit."
You can miss me with that shit, you know I live in the mix. You know who took that shit from you, come get it back in blood.
I'm gonna start using this line whenever anyone asks me for anything. Oh, you want me to return your Sandman trade paperbacks I borrowed? Yeah, come get it back in blood.
This ain't for everybody, toes hanging off the ledge.
It is so deeply cliche to say that Eric Church is your favorite country artist, but oh man, he makes really, really good country music. So, you know, check that out.
You holding me, holding you. It's a hell of a view. Starting over.
Ditto for Chris Stapleton. Also still good. Check that out.
I told you long ago on the road. I got what
Yet another Lil Nas X song that I didn't get the first time I heard it. I honestly don't think there's a single artist whose stock rose higher than Lil Nas X's this year. And this song is a well-earned victory celebration.
I didn't peak in high school, I'm still out here getting cuter.
Points to Jack Harlow for the assist of the year.
I'm the industry, baby. Yeah.
Okay, and here we go. Let's do this.
Cut out a piece of me. So happy to help me.
Number 1. I've been reviewing music for a while, and one thing I have learned is that time makes fools of us all. Artists I didn't respect at the time, I have better understandings of later. Songs I used to like, I have no idea what I was thinking. And most especially, artists who I never expected to ever hear anything good from or even anything else ever again will re-emerge from nowhere and surprise me. So what I'm saying is that I wouldn't expect my favorite artist of 2021 to be this person. But here we are.
When I wake up, I can't even stay up.
I've seen some weird comebacks. I lived through the Mike Posner revival, but I don't think I've witnessed a single one more surprising than Willow Smith, the former child star best known for Whip My Hair, one of the most obnoxious jackhammers of a song ever written. But shockingly, music is not just something that was forced on her by her celebrity parents, but an actual genuine interest of hers. And so, 11 years after her first hit, she managed to reinvent herself in young adulthood as a badass punk rocker, not only shattering her image, but also changing the face of this genre. For a long time, we assumed that being a pop punker meant being a certain demographic. And Willow proved that you can play punk rock even if you are stupefyingly rich. But while she did make great music this year, the true gem for me came from a year earlier when she dropped a side project called The Anxiety with her boyfriend Tyler Cole. It went unnoticed at the time, but was given a second chance by, yes, TikTok. Boy, am I grateful for that. Meet Me at Our Spot is... I'm just kind of stunned by it.
Meet me at our spot.
It feels fitting that I started this list with Olivia and I end with Willow because both songs are about how being young sucks.
I can't even stay up. I slept through the day. Fuck.
You hear old people missing their youth, like, oh, if only I had that energy again. Bullshit. Being young is sleeping all the fucking time. You're just awake at all the wrong fucking hours. And also you're exhausted all the time by everything because you don't know what the hell you're doing.
But when I'm older, I'll be so much stronger.
What Meet Me at Our Spot makes feel good about being young is the idea that you still have your future.
When I'm older, I'll be moving onward.
Speaking personally, I have no faith that anything will ever be good ever again. Like, Get ready for pandemic year 3, everyone. But I am pretty touched by that level of innocence and optimism. Like, yeah, it will get better. Or it won't, no one knows. But there is something kind of magical about this song.
I just got a drunk text, meet me at a spot.
Like, in an extremely stressful time to be alive, there's just something very comforting about having a spot to get away to and be tipsy with someone you love and shut the world down and still have your entire future to look forward to. And who else better than to sell that optimism than Willow Smith? This is the girl who made fucking Whip My Hair. Now she's one of the best artists of the year. If she can do it, maybe we all can do it. I mean, granted, we don't all have that Will Smith money coming after us, but if she can go from that to here, maybe there's something better coming for all of us. Dear God, this song's fucking good.
Maybe we can hit the vibe. Hypnotized by the light. Man, this must be the life.
We'll see what's about to happen next, okay? Okay, okay. We'll see what's about to happen next, okay? Okay, okay. We'll see what's about to happen.